recently earned her MA in creative writing. She will now finish things off with her MFA while attempting to know what she's talking about when it comes to teaching composition, when really she doesn't. She doesn't know what else to say, so give her $5, please.
Or 10.
Or else.
Woo!
Thank you.
Yeah!
Hello, everyone. Oh my gosh, it's so funny because I remember when I first came here. It was here, VelRo, and yeah, that's where I met Austin and other people and other people and other people. And then I drank so much, and then went to my literature class. All right, so I have some stuff. Most of them, unfortunately, aren't really new, but whatever. I'll just roll with it. And this one is new, and it's kind of rusty, but I tried. And this one's called "When You Wanna Write Like Ginsberg, but No, You Kinda Can't because You Can't." You find yourself asking 20-year-olds for relationship advice as you sip on some Southern Comfort intermixed with Coke and Sprite because you think you're a motherfucking badass. The cards haven't been revealed, and the party discovers that both Bush and Obama like meth during the winding down time. Southern Comfort sinks in your veins, and you find yourself taking a hit from a bowl because you're a motherfucking badass and smoke even though you don't really smoke because you kind of can't. Time goes by, and you find yourself crawling on the streets. You flail your arms, and your cab driver manages to find you. He confides about almost being hit by a vehicle earlier today. You drunkenly say, "Oh wow, that sucks. It's a good thing you're okay." He then tells you about how he hit someone on accident once. That someone was thankfully okay and even apologized for no good reason. You, being too drunk, just assure him that, well, thankfully he was able to get up and talk to you. You arrive home and discover your to-do list on the fridge. Write poetry, read poetry, don't get drunk because you kind of can't. Shit. And this one, Austin has heard this lots, because when I first came here, I read this at VelRo. It's called I Fucked Your Dad. Featured in Western Review. Also featured with Paul Hoover. And, yeah. I fucked your dad. Hey, I kind of fucked your dad. Me and your dad went out for dinner as a birthday present. Your dad made inappropriate jokes about moles that said ass while carrying around giant purple dildos and holsters, kind of like lightsabers. And then I thought, is it okay to really want to fuck him under the table while in my late teens? Is it normal? Suddenly your dad walked around and flashed me, plain naked for no reason. And before you know it, I fucked your dad good. Your dad was off the hook. Seems kind of fucked up, but then I guess that's the risk you want to take when wanting to lick sweaty, salty balls like your dad's. Oh, and just last night I fucked your dad again in a hotel living room with your mom. OMG, fucked your dad while your mom watched. The best 5 blowjobs ever. I have the best blowjob lips in Hollywood after all. He's kind of my hero now, since he's the kind of guy that can make mango salsa while still being a good fuck. He's the guy I both fuck and marry. Hey, don't be so sorry for spacey with me. Doesn't keep letting your dad fuck my fucking wet cunt. Come on, that's why our forefathers fought and died for this country, just for hot sex. God, my ass is so sore from fucking all weekend, and now I'm out here fucking you. And this one is also, I read this lots, but it was a different version because it was in the Sparkle link. Yay. And this one's called, This Is Me When I'm Drunk, after 4 vodka shots. I'm in my underwear, yet no one in San Francisco fucking cares, except that one guy over there. That's my type. Is being a 24-year-old grad student a turnoff? Do men only hunt for saggy titty cougars or Taylor Swift clones that gnaw on their fucking eardrums? I have a vagina, an unshaven, beardy vagina, beardy like a gothic Santa Claus, all pure 100% natural woman. Come at me, boys. I'm single with a beardy vagina. Mother always warned me to not get drunk in public. People would drag you and fuck you in an alley, she'd say. But I'm here wasted, and so is my sweaty gothic Santa Claus vagina. And no one is trying to fuck me. I yearn for someone to be my Mufasa. He stands on a giant rock while me and my lioness sisters eat up Simba's weaker baby siblings. I can almost feel my ovaries dehydrating into raisins because no one has fucking proposed to me yet. Why won't anyone fuck and marry me now? I need a boyfriend, a fiance, a husband, a swinger. Okay, my gothic Santa Claus vagina is getting really thirsty. So come on all you fucking bastards and let Claus suck on your sperm. Okay, this one, I shouldn't take too long. This was published in Writing Without Walls, but I first read the story for Red Club, which Nate does, he's not on the computer anymore, Nate does like the thingy before he moved to New York. And this one's called Silver. And it's prose, by the way. So. Helen knew she was going to have a crappy hangover, but she could care less. She was an empowered, independent woman who just fucked Mike, her stepbrother. Suddenly, something crawled up her throat. She ran towards the trash can near her desk. An absurd amount of Chardonnay and Jameson erupted from her mouth, splashed into the trash can. Several minutes later, Helen coughed up the remaining remnants of alcohol. The can was nearly full. She wiped her face with her hands. She then noticed her engagement ring. The band was silver, and attached to it was an oval diamond. It had an enchanting glow underneath fluorescent lights. It was beautiful. Her fiancé Todd had a great eye, or rather, her ex-fiancé. She sighed and then looked at Mike, who was snoring and lying in her bed, well, the bed she always slept in whenever she visited her mom. She smiled, reflecting back to what had happened earlier. Earlier that evening, in that very room, Helen was furiously drinking from a bottle of Chardonnay to herself. Her mom's comments for Christmas dinner still lingered in Helen's thoughts, especially with comments like, "How is he gay? He looked like a man. He doesn't look gay. See, you need to lose more weight," in that trademark Korean accent. Meanwhile, her stepdad, a white male who loved Fox News way too much, attempted in averting the situation with very interesting insights on how nice Bill O'Reilly's forehead had looked on his show. So there Helen was, on that very bed, drinking her Chardonnay. Her bottle was getting empty. She noticed how even more intoxicated she was feeling. Suddenly, the door opened. "Go away," she groaned, assuming it was her mom, or worse, her stepdad. It was Mike, with another bottle of Chardonnay, and 2 wine glasses. "Thought you might need another," Mike said sheepishly. Can't talk. Helen immediately sat up, continuing to drink up the remaining drops of wine. Mike sat next to her. He poured himself a glass. He then raised an eyebrow at her, motioning her with the bottle and the empty glass. Without even responding, she grabbed both the bottle and cup and poured herself a drink. "So, is everything okay?" Mike asked, watching Helen take big gulps. "Yeah," she exhaled. "I'm fine." Her glass was half empty. "Are you sure?" Mike asked again. "I mean, you broke off in an engagement and all, and I don't mean to be nosy, but why are you still wearing that ring?" Helen just shrugged. "Silver is my favorite color." Mike merely nodded. He then asked, "So, how did you find out that he told me back in September," Helen interrupted. "He woke me up one morning. He was in tears and knew that he couldn't lie to me anymore and pretend that he loved me like that. He was crying because, well, we were always best friends, and he didn't want to lose that." Tears suddenly rolled down Helen's cheeks. She awkwardly laughed and wiped away her tears. "I'm sorry, I hate crying, but even though I will always love and support Todd, I can't help but feel, hurt. Todd was the only one I lost my virginity to." She then burst into loud sobs. "Hey, look, it's okay," Mike said, taking the glass from her and placing it on the floor. He held her in his arms. Her tears began dripping against his gray shirt. He stroked her hair and rubbed her back. Helen didn't know if it was the Chardonnay talking, but she actually liked being so close with Mike. She knew all she had to do was break away from his embrace and look him in the eyes and thank him for being a cool stepbrother. Yet she liked listening to the low hum of his heartbeat as his slender hands caressed her back. Mike whispered against her ear, "You know I always had a thing for you." And that was when Helen immediately broke away from his embrace. She smacked his shoulder. "Shut up, Mike. I actually have standards." Mike smirked. "Shit, relax. I'm just trying to cheer you up." Helen then picked up her glass and stood up. Her stance was getting a bit wobbly. "Well, whatever," said Helen. "Anyways, I have to pee. When I get back, there better be more alcohol." And so, once Helen returned from the bathroom, there was a bottle of Jameson waiting for her. Mike also had several Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle shot glasses, a Michelangelo for him and a Raphael for Helen. As her throat burned after every shot of Jameson, she knew that she was just more than a little drunk. She was really drunk now. Helen placed her shot glass on the floor and looked at Mike. "Am I ugly to you?" she asked. Mike only stared back in response. Helen laughed and continued asking, "Am I ugly to you? 'Cause, well, did you know my mom wanted me to get plastic surgery since my eyes are getting too chinky?" "Whoa, that's messed up," Mike finally responded. "Your eyes are perfect. And hey, fuck what your mom thinks. There's nothing ugly about you at all." Helen snorted out another laugh and said, "I don't believe you. You're just saying that because you're drunk. Because I'm drunk. Wait, why is there more whiskey in Raphael?" Before she could even attempt in pouring herself another shot, Mike immediately grabbed her and kissed her. She could feel her nipples hardening again. But no, her one sober thought, "I can't." She broke off the kiss, slapping his face. "No, we can't. I mean, I'm drunk, but even I'm not stupid. You're not some guy I can have sex with. You're my stepbrother." Mike clasped her hands. He leaned closer and whispered, "It's not like we're actually related." Helen shook her head. "Still, I'm supposed to be like a sister to you." Mike then got much closer to her face. "You know that your mom and my dad might split up soon, so we might as well." Helen sighed. "Let me have a few more shots first." And after those shots, they finally fucked. What had happened was incredible. She liked having to yell at Mike every time she climaxed. The night escalated into pure ecstasy, the best she ever had, even if it was with her stepbrother. Helen glanced at the trash can. She knew how she had to clean it immediately, especially because of the stench. Yet she was too tired and figured she'd have to deal with it tomorrow. She crawled back into bed, letting Mike's head rest against her breast. She stroked his shaggy blonde hair. She looked at her engagement ring. She admired that ring, but probably a little too much. Before falling asleep, she took off her engagement ring and tossed it to the floor. The silvery object rolled onto the carpet, landing right next to an empty bottle of Chardonnay. Thank you, everyone.